Do you know any of you? Do you know who that name is? Does that name ring a bell? Well, you should. Because all of these lockdowns and restrictions and mandates are based off of his test, the PCR test. He invented this test in 2015. He died last year. I have videos, if you want, I will send you the interview of him stating this exact, and I quote, anyone can test positive for practically anything with a PCR test. If you run it long enough with PCR, you do it well, you can find almost anything in anybody. It doesn't tell you that you're sick. This test was never meant to be diagnostic. It doesn't tell you whether you're sick or not. This test is a DNA grab. We do a culture swab in the posterior cavity of the sinuses. If this is such a deadly disease, why can't we swab your mask? Why can't we do saliva? You're telling me you need to go 3 inches deep in the posterior cavity, millimeters from the blood-brain barrier, to do a swab test.
2 minutes.
Clinicals 101. This type of test needs subjective, it needs symptomatology, and it needs objective findings to correlate, and not only correlate, but correspond to the diagnosis, to confirm the diagnosis. An asymptomatic person has neither. That tells you that this is a faulty testing. That is Clinicals 101. So why do we have this faulty testing? If you were paying attention last year, the ACIP, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practice, stated last year that we can't force vaccinate anybody, but we can force compliance. The World Health Organization last year stated that the greatest threat to the health of the world are people who refuse vaccinations or unvaccinated people. This mask mandate will soon turn into a vaccine one, and I will be here in 2 months when that happens. Pfizer and Moderna are lobbying our government right now to push mandated vaccines. There were bills last year sweeping our nation to eradicate medical freedoms, and we need to understand that. Martin Luther King Jr. stated that the ultimate measure of a man or woman is not where he stands in times of comfort or inconvenience,